If you've seen yesterday's video, you will know about the Sam and Colby buying a property that is allegedly haunted for their Hell Week and then being able to try and use it for moving forwards for their business and all the rest of it to do events and things like this. If you want context for all of that stuff, go and check out yesterday's video because then it will get you up to speed with everything. Then come back and watch this video because I've got some up-to-date information. So, in yesterday's video, I mentioned that Beardo got an email from someone who basically said that they were from Iowa doing paranormal investigations and all the rest of it. And Sam and Colby had marked up the alleged price of the investigation from $300 to around $1,250, which of course is one hell of a price hike, and it's pretty insane that they are going to spike it by that much. And since that video went live, I've had a couple of emails from people giving me some more information and more up-to-date information actually involved in the scenes with Sam and Colby regarding this. So I'm really grateful to those people who have reached out and stuff like this. But before we get into that information and all the up-to-date information and the actual prices and stuff like this, which I don't think anyone else has covered so far, I was also sent an email from someone, a subscriber who's been watching the content, who lives in Iowa, who basically found the public forum and, you know, information regarding the sale of the house, or the school building, sorry. So this comes from Polk County Assessor. This is all free and open source information that's been sent over to me. And basically it goes on to talk about the sale that took place, and as we can see right here, the sale that went through and the current value of this building that Sam and Colby purchased, which is this one right here. This was from July 14th, 2022. This document was recorded on the 2nd of July 2024, which was around the same time that Sam and Colby took ownership of the building. The value of the entire building, and you know, we get a bit of a breakdown as well, was $220,300, which actually is a remarkable amount less than I expected for a alleged haunted school. Because yes, it's in Iowa, yes, it's been said to kind of be out of the beaten track, but you know, $220,000 is the price of a house in the current market. You can literally buy a house for that much. So the fact that these guys got an entire haunted school that they can turn into an attraction and a potential moneymaker, you know, it seems like they've got one hell of a deal. So you know, the building's valued at $145,700. The land's valued at $74,600, which obviously gives us this round total right here. And it's classed as a residential building, which is interesting. And there's so much more information that if you guys are interested in, I'll leave a link to this down in the description because, you know, like, because X, Y, and Z, you can take a look for yourself. But here is the, obviously this is the grantee. So this is who owned it from 2006, 2007. Okay, it was Nancy and James Oliver. Okay, so that was the names of the people. Now this is Sam and Colby's company, SC Iowa LLC. So this is so the date of instrument date and recording date are obviously different. So this is, I think this is probably the date that they took over. This is the date that the things got started. But this is Sam and Colby's company that bought the building. So you can see, you know, it's all there in intact. You know, we can see that this is actually the, so here's the sale price. So when the Olivers bought it, it was valued at $125,000, and when Sam and Colby bought it, its sale date was the 28th of June 2024, and the sale price was $260,000. Now, like I say, to me, I mean, it's not exactly cheap, but it's not exactly expensive either. Like, when you think the Conjuring house, which was a haunted attraction, sold for like 1.5 million or something, this is a steal. especially for a couple of millionaires like Sam and Colby. But obviously, you know, we look at the condition, it was in poor condition, so there was probably a lot of money that had to be invested into the property as well that we need to think about. You know, to kind of get it up to standard, to get it safe, probably had to be regulated, to be in, like, you know, people had to probably come out to make sure it was safe for participants to be able to go and do events and stuff there. So, you know, obviously there's a lot that's gone into it. So I should imagine that the price of it, yes, it was sold for $260, probably bumped up by a good couple of $100,000 to get it up to standard. You know, that's being lenient. That's probably like the higher end of how much was pumped into it, but to get it kind of up to scratch. And the information that I'm about to read out to you as well also kind of provides a lot of context. As someone... So Sam and Colby are planning to run events there. We knew this already because obviously, you know, they've bought the property and it's been said that they're going to be renting the place out for investigators to go and do overnights. Colby are planning to basically let out that work to an events company to manage bookings and kind of take care of everything. So I got an email from someone who works for this events company who reached out to me and basically gave me the up-to-date and actual information. So with regards to this person, they've asked that I don't name the company just yet because nothing's been set in stone and they're still kind of getting everything set up. And they are also, you know, they've asked me to not include any of the contact information for this company until Sam and Colby officially announce it because they don't want me to be the one to announce it, essentially, which is absolutely fine. So this person that I have had communication with goes by the name of... Just looking in the email now, I think it was Aries, Aries, A-R-I-E-S. I don't know. Aries, I think it was. But that's basically the contact information for me. And I've, you know, got the information here. This person went on to state, "Hey Ben, I wanted to email you to give you some more info on the Farah School. I work for the company that is running tours there. It's called Redacted, based out of..." and redacted. All right, so that's for the, you know, privacy of the company for the time being. "Sam and Colby did an investigation with us at the Moon River Brewing Company. This was before I worked for the company. So when they started to look for a haunted location to buy, they reached out to the owner of my company to help finding a location and setting up a way of hosting investigations in whatever building they decided to buy because they were impressed with the way that we ran the Moon River. My boss is the guy showing off the evidence we've caught at the Moon River in the past in the episode if you ever watched it. Naturally, they started their search in Savannah, but everything here is for sale was too expensive. So that's why they started looking outwards and landed at Farah. I personally, with the co-workers as well as my boss, his name is Redacted, went to Farah for a week to set up with the equipment and do a lot of research on the school and the area at the end of June into early July. So obviously this was the time when Sam and Colby, as we've seen from the previous documents, actually purchased the property. That being said, I do have some info to share with you to correct a few things in your video. For one, we do offer private investigations for $1,200, which is obviously the price that was spoken about. But that gives you an entire weekend or multiple days, if during the week works better for you, with unlimited access to the school. And we also offer use of all the equipment that we have. Everything from audio recorders and cameras to REM pods, dead bells, and EMF light strings. Now, obviously, when put into context, obviously, when we heard about the $1,250 from that video that Beardo made, the assumption was that was just for the night, which is obviously how the Conjuring house runs things now. But as it's been corrected, this is actually for multiple days. So you get unlimited access to the school for a period of time, spanning over a couple of 2 to 3 days, I'm assuming, based off of the information here. And you get full access to all of their equipment as well, and audio and camera equipment to be able to record your investigation, which seems a lot more justified, in my opinion, than $1,200 for a night, bring your own investigation stuff. Normal investigations are $85 per person, and while yes, if you If other people book, you'll start the evening off with them. But if you're a YouTuber and you don't want to investigate with a bunch of people, we have 2 investigators per tour to help split the groups apart and for a more controlled investigation, so you don't need to worry about randos tainting an investigation. That seems a lot more reasonable than the $1,200. So, you know, $85 per head is around the same amount, I believe, as what was being charged prior to Sam and Colby taking over. I think it was $75 or $65 a head before. They've just added another $10 to $20. That's a lot more reasonable than another $1,200 in my opinion. Anyway, so yeah, obviously if you're a YouTuber and you don't want, you can basically break off, go in, and if there's other people that are already booked on that investigation, then you can, I'm assuming they'll probably be private hire as well. They didn't really mention that kind of thing in this email, but we'll go on. We don't care about YouTube channels. We encourage people to film, go live, do whatever they want to bring their own equipment, etc. Our big thing is it's your investigation. You paid for it. It's completely up to you what you want to do with your time in the building. The footage you capture is your own, and we don't require screening. We don't require screening of your content when you leave or before you put it online. Obviously, that was something that was I mentioned because obviously, you know, that's what the Conjuring House do. If you want to post it, it has to be vetted by one of the Conjuring House, you know, staff members, probably Jacqueline, before it goes live online. And if there's anything that she doesn't like, you don't get to post it. Anyway, on the investigation front, Sam and Colby are literally nothing more than a bankroll. Fair enough. They paid for everything we ordered and basically got the hell out of our way to let us do what we do best, which is offer amazing investigations at affordable prices in really cool spots. It used to just be Savannah, now adding Des Moines, I'm butchering that, I'm sorry, to the mix. They have no say in who we let investigate. All the bookings are handled by us, and we do things by our own book, not the Conjuring Houses, if you catch my meaning. Basically stating that everything that they do is like that is their own business practice. It's not been influenced by that of other paranormal locations. Conjuring House. That does bring us to the booking though. Right now, there are some zoning laws they're trying to figure out with the city of Maxwell, Iowa, that has kept us from putting our bookings online for the moment. So the best way to book and confirm what I said about our prices is to call. I'm sure a call to America isn't cheap. And, you know, they put in some information. It's been redacted. We did have it online before this problem with the city and the school is popped up. And from what I can gather, there was a glitch in the pricing that said $1,200 somewhere, and the only proof I have is a Facebook screenshot that I've included. But call whenever and verify that we are not charging anyone and their mum $1,200 for investigation. And then they did include the information for me. That has been redacted, obviously, for their security. If you have any questions or need clarification on any deeper context, please feel free to email me back on my Discord. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Thanks so much for your time. Well, no, thank you so much for your time, because this context has been invaluable. Because if there's one thing that I don't want to spread with these kinds of videos, it's misinformation. Of course, the information that we had, every time I post a video, I try and do as much research about it as possible before I post it, because I want to be certain about what I'm sharing. Obviously, in this instance, I tried looking online. The information online isn't available, and that's been explained within this email. It's because, you know, they are just working things out and they're still trying to get things up and running. There's been some zoning issues and all the rest of it, and it all checks out. It's all completely fair. As for the screenshots that they provided, this was from a Facebook post, so let me just pull that up for you guys. I've kind of like scribbled out a lot of things, so, you know, privacy reasons and all the rest of it. But this person commented saying, it's cool, but Sam and Colby are opening the building to back up for investigations, but $1,200 for 4 to 6 hours is crazy. Speaking from experience, the most come to Farah cannot afford more than $400 to $500. I love this building, but it's not worth $1,200. Love it. And then this person responded, who was the event company, said, Hi there, it looks like there was an error with the booking company. The pricing has been corrected. And then, you know, basically talking about how the corrections have been made, which is absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. So, you know, there's a bit of context for you guys. So I did reach out and, you know, obviously say thank you and all the rest of it. But one question that I had, which I know that many others were going to have, was, are Sam and Colby, you know, with them kind of having their face and names to this building now, are they going to be offering investigations with them specifically? So, you know, I was just curious because obviously Sam and Colby have bought the building. They plan to do all this stuff with the building. And, you know, I was curious to see if they would be offering investigations and overnights with them included. To which Aries did respond to me stating, just looking through it now. Just yet, as Sam and Colby haven't announced all all the rest of it, so they haven't announced it. That's why they wanted it redacted. So as for private investigations, this company offer a max at 30 people, so it's not a terrible split. It's a flat rate no matter how many people are in the group. So basically, if you book, it's $1,200. I think I'm getting this right. If you book, it's $1,200, but if you split that between 30 people, obviously that breaks down the cost quite significantly. If you think 10 people would be 120, 20 people would be 60. It's about $30 a head, which is obviously a considerable amount cheaper if you go with 30 odd people. But as for events with Sam and Colby, it's something on the meeting tables, but since it's a new locations for both parties involved, them being more focused on Hell Week and us getting the investigation set up, there are no definite plans for the future. So while I can't say that we'll definitely be hosting events like that, we are really excited for the possibility. So there's a lot of context and information that I didn't have yesterday that I do have now to correct the story about everything that has been brought to light. So, you know, we've got the sale of the house of the school, to Sam and Colby, how much they paid for it. Obviously that's just a flat rate just for the building. It does say on the documents that it was in poor condition, so I should imagine there's probably some money being invested to try and get it up to standard, and also money invested into this company to try and get them everything that they need to give, you know, the best possible investigations possible. And then also more context from the events company itself, telling people that it's not $1,200 per head. It is, in fact, going to be around $85 per head, unless you go in a large group, which I think works out about $1,200. So, yeah. There you go. There's all the information that I have. Wanted to bring it to you guys to give you the most up-to-date information possible. What do you guys think of this now? It seems a lot less like a scam. It seems a lot less like a cash grab, and it seems a lot more reasonable with this context. But what do you guys think? Has this made it more appealing for you guys to go along? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump to get the hell out of that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you're new. And until next time, I'll speak to you later.